With the summer winding down, a lot of people think it's too late to get harvests from certain plants, and they even stop sowing seed. But that's not the case. There's still lots of stuff that you can sow right now, warm weather plants. And one of the things that you will get another harvest of if you're growing it is asparagus. You'll have another harvest in fall. So let me show you what I'm doing with this asparagus bed, and I encourage everyone to grow it because it is a perennial, so it'll keep coming back every year for you, and it's very nutritious. So this is an asparagus bed, and what we're doing is cutting back. I actually let this get away from me. So the asparagus stalks got tall and started putting off these ferns. So going through and cutting them, all of this just goes right onto the ground in the pathways. That way it'll decompose there, and just it's composting in place. So you put your scraps, your weeds in pathways next to your plants. It will break down, feed the soil, and then your plants will be able to draw nutrients from it. So the bed's right here, and our asparagus weeds are going right next to it. Here's the asparagus bed, and we are going through and we're cutting all of the asparagus down at its base. The asparagus will have a root ball, and actually some of the roots are sticking up here. So one root ball will put out multiple stalks of asparagus for you. It's one that we just got done cutting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stalks on that one. And then when you do that, you go ahead and take your asparagus in and eat it. Where's a piece? Nom 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 nom. And then you will get a nice fall harvest of asparagus after cutting them all back. There's still a couple right there that we have to harvest. Look at that beautiful asparagus. You can see two babies coming up right here, right there, right there. There's baby right there. These ferns we're not cutting back because they're still very thin. So I think those were put in after the thicker asparagus we have, because when you first plant asparagus, you want to leave it in for a few years so that the root system gets established, and then each year the asparagus will get thicker and thicker. So we're not cutting these back yet because they're still thin. So next year we'll cut them back and let them produce spears for us, not let them go to fern. So you'll just go and you can get a clipper, or you can just use your hand and harvest it like that. So we're doing that, and also putting in some asparagus seedlings right here to get started. And then in a few years, we will cut them back and have more spears for our family. Seedlings right there. And then the ferns that we cut back, so there is the asparagus bed, and there is the pathway. You can see it's already got a bunch of dead leaves and other clippings from the garden decomposing on it, which is why it's brown. So we have that right up against our bed. So all of this that we just cut back from the asparagus goes there too. Just spread it out. That is just one more layer of feed for our soil. Okay, so I hope you learned a little something. I like to show people the way we do things and an attempt to help you and encourage you and hopefully motivate you to start doing stuff that you haven't done before, and keep on adding and adding and adding and adding and adding and adding more food to your food garden for you and your family. Much love.